Good evening. Thank you for joining us on Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguela. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, has said the government is preparing the third phase of the presidential fertilizer initiative. The minister stated that the initiative has been designed to ensure stability, availability and affordability of farming inputs in the country. Abubakar Kyari also explained that private firms will drive the initiative, with the government providing the enabling environment. Meanwhile, the Organic Fertilizer Producers and Suppliers Association of Nigeria has urged the federal government to formally integrate organic fertilizer production and distribution into the presidential fertilizer initiative, describing it as essential for long-term soil health, climate resilience and sustainable food security. The national president of the association praised the PFI for reviewing dormant blending plants, stabilizing fertilizer prices, creating jobs and reducing Nigeria's reliance on imported finished fertilizers.
Raw materials exclusively under the purview of the federal government, this measure remains indispensable for preventing market abuse, curbing the influx of substandard adulterated materials, stabilizing market prices, ensuring consistent availability of inputs.
The Lagos State government has taken another major step towards improving food and nutrition security with the unveiling of a bio-fortified blending machine and the launch of fortified eco rice. Now, the initiative unveiled at the Lagos Rice Mill in Imota is designed to tackle growing micronutrient deficiencies and enhance the quality of rice consumed by millions. Joy Ken Akpabuya will tell us more.
Government officials, partners and stakeholders gathered at the expansive Lagos Rice Mill in Imota, Ikorodu, one of Africa's largest, to witness what the state describes as another leap in food innovation. The spotlight was on the newly commissioned biofortified blending plant and the launch of biofortified eco rice, both designed to boost the nutritional value of one of the nation's most consumed staples. Rice with essential micronutrients, including iron, zinc, folic acid, and vitamins B1, B3, B6, and B12, a major step in tackling malnutrition head-on.
These are essential minerals that helps in growth, helps in IQ development, helps in immunity, and it's important for children, young adults to have it.
This is a plan that we are currently discussing together with the federal government and together with different states. What we want to achieve is to make sure that we have fortified rice on the plates of those who are the most in need.
So our goal in the whole consortium is to make sure that we provide them with the right tools and the capacity, the knowledge, the training to take these products that has now just been launched with essential vitamins and minerals to the average Nigerian.
With fortified eco rice now available for consumers, Lagos strengthens its drive toward healthier nutrition and improved food security. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abapuya, NTA News.
The federal government has inaugurated an inter-ministerial steering committee for the Nigeria Power for Health initiative, setting in motion a coordinated agenda to tackle the persistent power challenges affecting the nation's healthcare system. The initiative aims to achieve sustainable electrification of health facilities across the country. The Nigeria Power for Health initiative is a government-led, private sector-driven collaborative program established to streamline and coordinate all electrification projects and interventions within the health sector. The newly inaugurated committee is chaired by the Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Isiaq Adekunle Salako, with the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabo, serving as co-chair.
We want to see the effect of that in the quality of care that is available in our hospitals.
The Nigeria Power for Health initiative is a critical one that we actually want to leverage on provision of reliable, sustainable, and functional electricity to all our health institutions at all levels.
Now, if the target of eliminating HIV and AIDS by the year 2030 must be met, Nigeria must resist the temptation of being carried away by its recent progress against the epidemic, but stay the course by sustaining advocacy, promoting domestic resource mobilization, and taking a firm stand against stigmatization. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu stated this in a keynote address at the 2025 World AIDS Day celebration organized by the National Agency for the Control of AIDS at the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo reports.
In spite of its high burden of HIV/AIDS, Nigeria has acquitted itself well, scaling up prevention, treatment, and care of the epidemic, even in the face of dwindling donor funding, policy shifts, and uncertainties.
Under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Nigeria is on its way to eliminating HIV/AIDS as a public health threat.
Among many other gains, the 46% decline in new HIV infection recorded in the last decade was celebrated by stakeholders who gathered to mark this year's World AIDS Day under the banner of National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA.
I dare say,
for a woman who has been in the trenches, building coalition and mobilizing resources to fight new cases of HIV infections with the Free to Shine Triple Elimination campaign, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu is happy about the emerging figures, but wants more to be done to consolidate.
We are moving steadily towards the global target of eliminating mother-to-child transmission of HIV, syphilis, and hepatitis by 2030 through efficient use of resources and integrated healthcare services for women and children. As global funding patterns shift, we must ensure sustainability to prevent disruption of critical services. The federal government, as you have heard, has proactively approved the disbursement of $200 million to support HIV, tuberculosis, and malaria program. As we move forward, I call on all Nigerians to support the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, in the commitment to achieving an HIV-free Nigeria by 2030.
Every Nigerian deserves to live free from judgment and exclusion. Therefore, there must be compassion for victims in order to end the epidemic and build community resilience.
To our parents, guardians, and teachers, HIV/AIDS is no longer a disease of shame, but should be brought to the table for discussion on prevention and where to get necessary help and assistance. To our young people, I encourage you to take responsibility for your health, get tested, and know your status. To our communities, let us foster a culture of love, acceptance, and support for people living with HIV.
Her commitment to the campaign against HIV/AIDS was recognized with an award at the ceremony. From the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
And earlier we had in the studio Dr. Daniel Undukwe from the National Agency for the Control of AIDS, urging Nigerians to get tested towards knowing their HIV status, as the infection is not a death sentence. Let's see that excerpt.
We begin to pass our messages, telling people to get tested, and then for those who are tested to make sure they get treatment, which is free. And that's another very important one. Treatment has remained free in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You go to our facilities, whether they are tertiary, secondary, or even some primary healthcare facilities, you get your medication for free, for treatment, also to prevent mother-to-child transmission. I think this combination of factors and many more has actually helped to make us advance, even though we've not gotten to the end of the response.
We turn to other issues. Young innovators from 7 northwestern states have converged on Kanu to showcase ideas, pitch solutions, and compete for top honors, marking a major step in building Nigeria's digital future. Aminu Umar reports that this forms part of the federal government's efforts to equip Nigerian youth with digital skills and create 3 million tech-driven jobs.
The 3MTT initiative and innovation of the Federal Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy, implemented through the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, aims to create 3 million digital jobs by the end of the year. In Kano, the Hackathon 3.0 brought together young tech innovators from across 7 northwestern states, providing a platform for participants to showcase their creativity and explore career opportunities in the technology space. One of the participants, Simbiat Bashir from Kebbi State, emerged as the overall winner with her project Career Forge.
The support we've received, we are definitely going to put it to the best use, and we are going to officially launch our platform to Nigerians out there.
To continue on this process, to build the product, to make it live and impact lives with it. From now, I have a lot of confidence that I can improve my system, update my system so that I can add different features in a smart box system.
Through the program, I've been able to get people, fellows jobs, internship opportunities through the NGFP, devices for them to also, continue their learning.
So we have the highest number of the fellows, and we are very proud of that. We have so many people that are doing extremely well.
The event also featured mentorship sessions and inspiring testimonies from successful innovators who shared insights on consistency, creativity, and scaling innovative ideas for long-term impact. In Kano, Aminu Umar, NTA News.
Well, good to see Nigerian youths are taking advantage of this tech innovation, talking about the 3MTT. So we join Aminu Umar, who is standing by to share with us what he knows from his end on creating 3 million tech-driven jobs. Aminu.
Yes, actually, by the name 3MTT, as you must have heard, is 3 million technical, yes. So me, myself, when I had that 3 million jobs, and to create 3 million jobs before the end of this year, I was actually in doubt. But when I saw what the guys are doing, actually I believe even more than 3 million jobs can be created, because each and every individual, if you pick his project, those that were able to bring out apps, softwares, those softwares that are actually needed, because the softwares, they looked at the issues of environment and health sector and education, and both the three of them, they were actually great ideas. It was only the three that were lucky to succeed. But if you look at their innovations, they themselves, those that were able to put down something like that to create those apps and softwares, they can create jobs themselves. So if you calculate the number of jobs and the people that are able to participate in the program, yes, cumulatively you can get more than 3 million before the end of this year. And one interesting thing with the program, when I participated or I covered the event, I understand that there is serious inclusion, because I got to know that the youth population, they are both male, young men, women, and people with special need, because I picked interest in some of the people with hearing impairment. I saw them interacting during the course of the program. Actually, it interests me.
Thank you so much, Aminu. It just shows that Nigeria's digital future is on the right path with the enthusiasm we saw in that report. Thank you very much. Our correspondent there, Aminu Umar. Let's get to Lagos. Hingino John Adams is set for us. Hingino.
Thank you, Ruth, and welcome to Lagos. The Nigerian Army has once again demonstrated its commitment to the protection and general well-being of the society. This came to the fore during the two-day community service carried out by officers of the Nigerian Army Headquarters 81 Division through 65 Battalion, Bonny Cantonment, an initiative of the General Officer Commanding 81 Division Nigerian Army, Major General Farouk Mijinyawa. Lynn Leneke completes the story.
Offering free healthcare services, health education and support to residents of Lagos State is the military's way of consolidating on already existing civil-military relations. The free medical care, an initiative of the General Officer Commanding 81 Division, Major General Farouk Mijinyawa, is aimed at strengthening the synergy between the community and the army for collective action in addressing contemporary health challenges within a joint environment, while engaging in the general cleaning of the area.
Not everybody knows what is going on in their body, but now that we are here, we know what is going on. We know when they are doing the checkup, everything will be all right.
Not even the medical outreach, they also like doing sanitation and all that all over the stadium. I think is very impressive.
Similarly, the train moved to Surulere local government area where residents took advantage of the free medical care, describing the exercise as a game changer.
Nigerian Army came up with this outrageous benevolence to take care of, like, it's just like giving back to the masses. I'm really grateful.
When they do things like this, it gives us the leverage to associate with them and know that they are very free people as well.
According to the General Officer Commanding 81 Division, Major General Farouk Mijinyawa, the outreach will further strengthen the relationship between the Army and the host community, emphasizing that the outreach was part of the Army's corporate social responsibility. In Lagos, Lynn Leneke, NTA News.
The categorization of Nigeria as a country of particular concern is a statement some Nigerians feel should not stir up panic, rather reaffirm a collective responsibility between the leaders and the led to devise more tactical approach towards improving the security situation of the country. Amaka O reports.
It's often referred to as the giant of Africa, owing to what experts term her population, economic might, numerous human and material endowments. Like other countries of the world, the most populous black nation on earth is grappling with her unique challenges, and the government, on its part, keeps mapping out workouts towards tackling these shortfalls while ensuring that solutions are entrenched appropriately.
If we have been saying something positive about our country, it will not come to this extent. If yes, we have problems, we need help in terms of maybe expanding the scope of sensitization and of our people about the importance of nationalism, about being supportive of your country.
Nigerians ought to be told that we are heirs to a proud era of patriotism, of nationalism, of people rejecting what is foreign, not because they don't want to do better, but because they feel that we can do it ourselves and we can excel.
It is the views of some Nigerians that it is time for the leadership to deepen and strengthen the good governance agenda, while citizens on their part should unite, remain supportive and optimistic, and not fan the embers of division.
Tribalism and religious bigotry, we have to address it. The poverty alleviation fund must be created instantly. And those who are graduates and this can still go and borrow money there.
It is the hope of many that the nation continues to surmount her current challenges for the growth and development of the country. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
We are done with our contribution from Lagos. Nationwide will continue after the break with Kemi Akinwande in Ibadan.
Here in Ibadan, a warm welcome.
The convergence of gynecologists and obstetricians from across the country in Ibadan was to deliberate on ways to achieve the highest possible standards of physical, mental, reproductive and sexual health for women all through their lives. The discussion was brought forward at the 59th Annual General Meeting and Scientific Conference tagged Oluyole 2025 of the Society of Gynecology and Obstetrics of Nigeria held in Ibadan. Correspondent Rofia Animashaun Badmos has the details.
The conversations was to showcase contributions and efforts towards strengthening reproductive health and supporting safer motherhood across Nigeria. Deliberating on the theme for the conference, reproductive health benefits, a panacea for achieving the SDGs. Speakers said the theme is to share ideas, interact, push the agenda, and beckon on government that, with 2030 around the corner, there is need to recalibrate and explore partnerships to attain the goals and improve indices.
Our economy has to be diversified, that's the truth about it. Even if it's challenging for the government expenditure on health, on education, on social protection, has to improve.
Obstetricians and gynecologists who are members of SOGON to key into an important government agenda to improve maternal and neonatal outcome in Nigeria.
Maternal mortality and the possibility of collaborations, gynecological cancer, minimally invasive surgeries, and family planning. The Society of Gynecology and Obstetrics of Nigeria believe will keep members in trend with the rest of the world.
The SDG, there's aspect to health, but we want to create healthy population, healthy women, healthy children, and from there the economy will improve.
In the midst of all of these challenges, we must keep up with the rest of the world. So despite this, the potential for the successes of minimally invasive surgeries will ensure we stay abreast with the rest of the world.
The conference featured presentation of SOGON Award to distinguished personalities and induction of over 100 new SOGON full members. In Ibadan, Rofia Animashaun Badmos, NTA News.
The Nigerian Television Authority is committed to quality broadcasting services across all platforms. Hence, the call on the staff of NTA Abuja to up their game to ensure the station maintains its pride of place in broadcasting within the zone and beyond. The Zonal Director, NTA Ibadan Network Center, Taiwo Iteragba, was speaking during his visit to NTA Abuja as part of his familiarization visit to stations under the Ibadan Network Center. Yemi Dalimo completes the report.
The Zonal Director, NTA Ibadan Network Center, Taiwo Omotayo Iterogba, accompanied by the Deputy Director of Program, Joshua Rimande, was in Abeokuta to inspect the facilities of the station, listening to challenges facing the station, and encourage the staff to continue the good work that the station is noted for. The Zonal Director inspected the key transmission areas, including the studio, master control room, and other areas to have the first-hand information about the equipment. After the inspection, it was the time to meet and interact with members of staff, where he charged them on upholding the highest standard of professionalism, discipline, and always give their best in whatever situation they find themselves.
And my pledge is that we will navigate all challenges we see. And in the course of time, we'll be able to attend to them and to bring back NTA Abeokuta optimally.
General Manager of the station, Kehinde Onoda, who was elated at the visit, says the visit brings a message of hope and joy to both the management, staff, and viewers of NTA Abeokuta.
It's come to reassure us of a better operation in terms of facilities, in terms of personnel.
Zonal Director encouraged the Abeokuta station on massive stakeholders engagement, including meeting with key traditional rulers, organizations, and individuals, assuring good welfare package for the staff while training and retraining of broadcasters to meet modern-day broadcasting needs will be vigorously pursued. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalimo, NTA News.
We're done from here. Ruth is back to you.
Many thanks, Kemi. As part of the ongoing commemoration of 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, the Development Research and Project Center has released findings from a new study on digital threats faced by women in Nigerian politics. Momso Damian Detti reports.
Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development, Iman Sliman Ibrahim, to the glory of God and to the benefit of humanity.
DRPC, in collaboration with Advancing Learning on Gender Norms, is marking this year's 16 days of activism by launching this report on digital threats to women in politics.
There is a perpetuated gender norms that frames technology-facilitated gender-based violence as part of politics. So women are expected to be able to bear the roughness of politics when these abuses are targeted at them. There is an opportunity now with all of the parties who are at the point of reviewing their constitutions to begin to understand the concept of technology-facilitated gender-based violence and put in provisions for gender-based violence.
It's about the actual implementation and changing the mindset, within the populations on how best we can leverage opportunities, we can leverage challenges within women and have them to be key players in progress.
The message of the Minister of Women Affairs being presented.
By engaging with this report, we take a strong step towards strengthening our protective systems, deepening accountability and enabling safer political participation.
The evidences, insights and recommendations in the report are to help shape policies just as the challenges are evolving. Momso Damian Ati, NTA News.
All right, let's get to Kaduna to join Umar Mohammed Ajengi. Umar?
Here in Kaduna, Ruth Agwele. The 19 northern state governors, together with traditional rulers led by the Sultan of Sokoto, have convened a meeting to address key challenges affecting the region. The meeting, which is currently ongoing, focuses on issues of insecurity and the rising number of out-of-school children in the region. The 19 northern states governors, together with traditional rulers led by the Sultan of Sokoto, arriving for a meeting to address key challenges in the region. The meeting focuses on insecurity, the rising number of out-of-school children, poverty, and the need to strengthen good governance across the region.
We must once again commend His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for his strong leadership and steadfast commitment to Nigeria's security, sovereignty, and territorial integrity. We hereby affirm our collective resolve to work closely with the federal government.
Kindly permit me to reiterate the imperative of state police. Nigeria's centralized policing model can no longer meet the demands. As we begin our deliberation today, I urge us to speak frankly.
And I believe as leaders, we need to really come up, as the governor of Gombe said, honestly, tell ourselves the truth. But I want to assure you, Excellency, the governors, we are 100% with you in this drive.
It is expected that at the end of their meeting, they will identify a sustainable and long-lasting solutions to the security threats and other developmental challenges confronting the region. The Kaduna State government has secured 39 convictions on gender-based violence-related cases. The Commissioner for Women Affairs, Rabi Salus, disclosed this while leading a group on a roadwalk to mark the 16 days of activism on gender-based violence. Kim Godds reports.
Violence against women and girls limits access to education, employment, and participation in public life, holding back human potentials and economic growth. Globally, 1 in 3 women experience physical or sexual violence in a lifetime. In an advocacy and awareness work, the Ministry for Women Affairs, in partnership with civil society groups, highlighted that the safety of women and girls cannot be compromised, emphasizing that every emergency response is a chance to prevent violence before it happens.
I urge every one of us here to stand and embrace one another, to be ambassadors of peace and ambassadors of gender-based violence prevention in the state.
Other speakers reminded all that safety is a fundamental right and not a privilege, hence digital and technology-facilitated abuse that is currently the trend should be addressed.
Gender-based violence is something that we live with daily. It is our reality, and the earlier we are able to do something about it, the better. It's important that we create more awareness on the forms and types of gender-based violence that happens on social medias.
The enlightenment, which commenced from the NEPA runabout, terminated at the government house in Kaduna. Kim Gods, NTA News.
And as our contributions from this end nationwide continues in our Just Network Center after this commercial break.
World AIDS Day represents hope and a reminder of the progress made in safeguarding the lives of citizens. He said this at the 2025 World AIDS Day celebration in Jos. NTA and Abuja has details.
The yearly event focuses on raising awareness, promoting prevention, and reinforcing commitment towards ending the HIV/AIDS epidemic, with the theme Overcoming Disruption, Sustaining Nigeria's HIV Response. Governor Mutfwang representatives stressed the need to strengthen existing structures and ensure continuity of HIV services.
No clinic under my watch should turn a patient away because of stock out. We are building a resilient supply chain.
In line with the theme, keynote speaker Professor Christian Isiche underscores the importance of sustaining progress made on HIV response. He says, despite disruptions, the fight against HIV/AIDS should remain a priority.
True resilience is both moral and technical. It means protecting the vulnerable, even when resources are scarce.
Plateau State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Nicholas Bamlong, and the Executive Director, Plateau State AIDS Control Agency, PLACA, Esther Turaki, lauded the collective resolve to overcome disruptions and sustain the momentum in the fight against HIV/AIDS.
His Excellency approved for PLACA do whatever it will take for them to ensure that the communities are reached with testing and treatment.
Currently, we have over 47,000 people that are actively on HIV treatment in the state.
In Jos, Indenyan and the Abuja, NTA News.
The Igala community leader in Plateau State, His Royal Highness Sadiq Mohammed, has tabbed Ramatu Abdusalam Agabi, a staff of the NTA Television College Jos, as Yebuli, meaning mother of all Igala women in Jos. Again, Indiang and the Abagang reports that the honor is in recognition of her contributions to the development of Igala nation.
This is the new Yebuli of Jos, adorned following observance of all traditional rites. His Royal Highness Sadiq Mohammed reminded her that leadership requires patience and emotional strength. After her turbaning as the new Yebuli of Jos, Chief Ramatu Abdusalam Agabi was formally presented to the Igala community and the public. Chief Ramatu Abdusalam Agabi was born and brought up in Jos many years ago. He is a committed member of various women associations, religious and community groups. Her contributions to the unity and development of Igala community in Jos earned her respect and honor, which qualifies her to be given the title of the first Yebuli of Igala women in Plateau State.
I pray Almighty Allah will give her courage to hold the women.
Her joy and appreciation were beyond her family and the immediate community, but to the entire Igala, His Royal Majesty Matthew Okpalua Oguche Ankpa.
I also give thanks to Atai Igala. Gabaidu, Gabaidu, Gabaidu. May Almighty Allah increase your health. May He prolong your life.
She had always been a person that is helping the new to you in the society.
Her community to identify with her, and for her we set it her to
this tours of contribution, immense contribution for them.
Highlight of the event was the launch of a magazine in her honor in Jos, Indenyan, and the Abuja NTA News.
That's our contribution from Jos. It's back to Ruth in Abuja for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you, Bilkisu. Ministers from ECOWAS member states have agreed on a joint plan to repatriate products of African cultural heritage to their countries of origin. This endorsement comes ahead of the 2025 West African Arts and Culture Festival, ECOFest, in Dakar, Senegal, which aims to celebrate West African cultural heritage and explore culture's role in addressing regional challenges. Kelvin Ehunwahi reports.
The Ministerial Forum held on the eve of the official launch of the 2025 West African Arts and Cultural Festival, ECOFest. The session followed technical deliberations by cultural experts from member states who presented recommendations on heritage restitution processes across the region. The ministers reviewed and endorsed proposals covering thematic areas, including the implementation of the ECOWAS Action Plan 2027 to 2031 for the return of cultural property, the progress made by member states, and the persistent challenges hampering restitution efforts. The discussions also examined the state of national cultural policies and the effectiveness of institutions responsible for heritage management and the development of creative industries.
This is just what the power of culture and creativity can do. So my committee, ECOWAS Committee on Reparation, has been talking about how the gap between what we do as a committee, what academia is doing, and what the other stakeholders are doing, which it doesn't really draw in the youth. So we've been nursing this idea for so many years now, and finally it has been birthed.
It came the curtain raiser on ECOFest 2025, an initiative of ECOWAS and OMOAG. ECOFest is poised to become a landmark event on Africa's cultural calendar, fostering a robust foundation for regional integration and creative growth. By celebrating West Africa's rich cultural diversity, ECOFest aims to promote social cohesion, peace and unity, making it a priority event for artists, policymakers and cultural enthusiasts across the sub-region. In Dakar, Senegal, Kelvin Ehunwahi, NTA News.
Minister of Art, Culture, Tourism and the Creative Economy, Hannatu Musawa, has renewed her call for strategic partnerships and sustainable investment in Nigeria's tourism assets. Correspondent Gofansha Jongwai reports that the minister also announced the imminent launch of the D30 data dashboard to aggregate reliable data from agencies, state tourism boards and private partners to guide policy.
The Nigerian Tourism Investors Forum and Exhibition 2025 brings together stakeholders, investors and policymakers to explore opportunities and challenges in the tourism industry. The event also aims to position Nigeria as a top global destination for tourism, culture, and businesses in Nigeria.
Together we can transform Nigeria into a global destination hub where culture meets commerce, tradition meets innovation, and where our diversity becomes a source, and it is, a source of pride, a source of unity, a source of prosperity, and a source of global black identity.
The tourism transformation mandate belongs to all of us, and its success will be measured by our collective resolve to build a sector that works growth and compete globally.
And the only way we can let the world know about the numerous assets that we have as a nation is to use storytelling to tell the world about these assets.
The minister also highlighted the establishment of a creative and tourism infrastructure corporation CTCO, approved by the Federal Executive Council as a dedicated special purpose vehicle to close infrastructural gaps across the sector. In Abuja, Gufanshachi Ogwanyi, NTA News.
The federal government says it is modernizing and expanding the national grid with a number of ongoing projects nationwide to boost supply and ensure reliability of the grid. Executive Director, Transmission Service Provider of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, Oluwabenga Ajiboye, reveals that the nation's wheeling capacity has increased to more than 8,000 megawatts. Joshua Ojito reports.
From what can be described as a weak grid to a stable and modernized grid, the electricity grid in Nigeria is expanding. The feat achieved is in view of ongoing projects nationwide, with more than 30, including substations and transmission lines, completed, adding more than 2,000 megawatts of wheeling capacity to the national grid. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, in a statement attributes the development to strategic investments and donor-supported projects, such as the World Bank-funded Nigeria Electricity Transmission Project, NETAP. On the SCADA system, TCN says it has commenced the deployment of the system to enhance real-time monitoring and control of the grid to improve reliability and reduce downtime. Also, a total of 3,100 MVA has been added to the national grid through energizing of 24 power transformers, while the Abuja ring projects are at different levels of completion. Nigeria federal government says has strengthened cross-border transmission links with neighboring countries, thereby reinforcing its role as a regional energy hub under the West African Power Pool. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
The National Counter-Terrorism Center Office of the National Security Advisor is reviewing the draft National Policy Framework and Strategy for Disarmament, Demobilization and Integration 2025 to address contemporary security challenges. The event assembled experts and partners to ensure inclusivity and align with national and international best practices.
This national framework represents a significant milestone in our commitment to supporting individuals who have renounced violence and are seeking to reintegrate into their communities. We recognize the complexity and challenges we face. However, we are confident that with collective efforts, we can make a significant impact in preventing and countering violent extremism.
DDR is not merely about disarming people or dismantling armed groups. It's about offering hope of dignity through economic empowerment, and hope of justice through accountability and reconciliation for affected persons, particularly victims.
This consultation closely aligns with the broader objectives of the African Union, especially within the African Peace and Security Architecture and the African Union Master Road Plan of practical steps to silencing the gun in Africa.
The Centre notes that the validation exercise is not the final step, but the beginning of a renewed commitment towards sustainable peace and a new phase in ongoing efforts to strengthen initiatives across the country. Court Marshal Federal Road Safety Corps Shehu Mohammed has ordered all construction companies operating on Nigerian roads to ensure adequate placement of road signs at their construction sites. The Court Marshal has well ordered the companies to install, maintain and continuously update proper road synergies at every construction area without exception. This, he said, is to ensure the safety of the motoring public around construction sites. The FRSC also directed commanding officers across formations to immediately commence strict and effective enforcement of the directive. The Reverend University of Maiduguri has achieved its core mandate of providing the teeming Nigerian population with the opportunity to obtain bachelor's degree in any field of endeavor, in addition to addressing the challenges in obtaining Western education, especially within the Northeast region. These were the views of personalities during a special lecture held to celebrate 50 years of existence of the University of Maiduguri, as well as 25th combined convocation ceremony of the institution. Tina Toro reports.
Combined convocation ceremony and 50th anniversary celebration lecture titled The Role of Education as the Anchor for Resilience and Competitiveness Towards Sustainable Development in Disrupted Economy was delivered by former Executive Secretary TED Fund, Professor Suleiman Elias Buguru. He noted that trends and evidence of the role of education and application of knowledge in contemporary world is undisputed.
It is knowledge acquired through education over centuries of civilization and now largely reflective on the level of industrialization that define global trends, including progress, backwardness, and utter chaos.
Professor Buguru further stated that the first step in building a national knowledgeable economy is to understand the country's strengths and weaknesses, as well as strengths and weaknesses of actual and potential competitors, then articulate the goals and develop policies and investments to achieve them. Other personalities acknowledged the tremendous achievements of the University of Maiduguri since inception, especially in the area of producing competent graduates that have excelled in various fields of human endeavor, in addition to training the younger generation to become productive members of the society. In Maiduguri, Tina Toro, NTA News.
Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Adun, leads federal government's delegation on condolence visit to the Bauchi state over the demise of Sheikh Dahiru Usman Bauchi. Muazu Hassan reports.
The death of the renowned Islamic scholar and leader of Tijaniya sect, Sheikh Tahir Usman Bauchi, according to the Minister of Finance, is a monumental loss not only to Muslims or Nigeria as a country, but to the entire world at large. While noting the enormous contribution by the late Islamic icon, the Minister Wale Edun highlighted his preaching of peace, unity and understanding among Nigerians, irrespective of any religious affiliation.
It's a big loss, and we just pray that the future that he has gone to will be easy for him, and that what he has left behind will be maintained, will be strengthened, and will be sustained.
And on that behalf, also thank Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for showing so much empathy and sympathy with us.
Meanwhile, the federal government's delegation was at the deceased residence to condole his family in Bauchi. Muaz Hassan, NTA News.
And that concludes Nationwide. Thank you for your company. Good evening. I'm Ruth Aguela.